they've been chasing that car a little bit, so nice run through 1 and 2. And out the other side into the braking area in turn 4, that we can begin to see a few ripples under brakes there up at the end of Wakefield Street. Slides it out of there in second gear. It's on the rev limiter. You can see speed and revs, throttle and brake on the right-hand side of screen. The short shoot between 4 and 5, turns it in, catches some curb, drops it up on the outside of the curb here, turning it in now to 7. Again, uses a little bit of that island on the inside and hoiks it up over the top of the curve on the outside. Now a momentary opportunity to relax on the run towards turn 8.
Oh, he was absolutely out of control trying to get that car settled off the curb and then pull it up appropriately. I reckon it cost him a little bit of time.
And he just chastised himself because it was...
Didn't quite grab the amount of front grip that it needed, and that might be a little bit due to the roaded front tyre. 1/100th stronger in the mid-sector than Todd Hazelwood. It's going to be very close. He's done a nicer job in the final turn than Todd. It pulled up straighter, it hit its apex there, and pops out the other side. Should be a 19-something, and it is a 19.9022. Kept it off the VALO side nicely.
So it appears to be getting gripped up further as the lap progresses, and it turns in pretty nicely, but he got a fair bit of push past the apex there, carried maybe just a tiny bit too much speed. We get to the control line, and what's the number now for James? And it's a 19.9. Not quite enough to knock off Heimgartner. Turned it in nicely, got the throttle in early, and the mid-sector split we'll get an understanding of now. It's slightly down on James Golding, but he was slightly up on the field so far in the first sector. He's going to be right there or thereabouts with Andre Heimgartner. Turning it into 11, which has proved to be a challenge for a few this weekend. Hops it over there on 2 wheels and slithers out the other side with nothing to the right-hand side of it. What's the stability like in the final corner? Turns it in from the widest possible margin. Touches that apex. No evidence of sliding out the other side. The back end of the lap is strong. And he goes to P1 on a 1970s. Last sector was very good.
Nice lap.
18.9 he did in qualifying. Driver's eye view gives us a run through turns 2 and 3. And heading in a generally westerly direction up towards turn number 4 here. Back to second gear. Turn it in, hook it over the curb. Listening for the rev limiter in the background in second gear. Left-hander at 5. More rev limiter coming. Out of breath on the run towards this right-hander. 6. Up on the curb on the exit. It's hot, hard work through East Terrace, Hutt Street, and then the right-hander here on the exit of turn 7. And it slides in the rear out of there in second gear with the fastest first split we've seen.
Very nice lap. Green tyres, brand new ones for Cam Waters. This is a corner that takes ultimate commitment. There was no margin on the outside there. Beautifully done. And the fastest in sector 2. He was deep under brakes. He was battling to get that car stopped in the first phase of the braking area. Now into 11. Uses all of the entry curve on the right and then all of the road off the corner.
He's in a great battle in the championship at the moment for the runner-up position with Chaz Mostert, his friend and rival. Final corner with great sector splits in the first 2 sectors for Cam Waters, and this should put him on target to go to the top. And it does, at a very healthy time. In hot conditions of 1 minute 19.3.
Didn't come off there very well and looked like a battle to get the apex. But he's been very fast through turn 8. Oh, and he loses the rear on the way to the final corner. That's going to be costly.
That's nervousness in the rear, and this is what many of the drivers have been talking about. It disconnected in the rear at the critical moment, but Courtney drops into third. 27.2 in the first sector, and no space at all on the outside for Pye. And we all ducked under cover then, but he did manage to get it out the other side.
Scott McLaughlin and I seriously jumped back. That car was so close to going in the fence.
I was nearly out of here, boys. I was nearly gone.
So the mid-sector for him, a 19.9, is only about a couple of hundredths away from what James Courtney achieved in the mid-sector. It all happens very quickly around here into the final corner now for Pye. Cam Waters keeping an eye on things, and they are at Team 18 as well in the top right-hand corner of screen. This is going to get him right up there. He's been quick all weekend, and he drops it into position number 2 and achieves a 1 minute 19.7. Quite as quick as James Courtney in sector 2, but he's right with him.
Car looks very stable, boys. Looks really, really comfortable across the curve here at turn 10, right out to the fence. Oh, it's tight there, boys.
That was close, Scotty. but he's got this car really wired. This has been a very accurate lap so far. Can he get a stop?
No.
There I go, commentator's curse. Locks the rears, 2 sideways, and that has cost him at the final corner for sure.
You can see the lock lights come on the steering wheel, and that drops him into position number 4. It's a second row at the moment on a 19.7. Ripping first sector, and you can see the frustration for Anton.
And he's gone away from that normal thing. They put the rotor tyre on the front and a new tyre on the back. He's got 4 green tyres in terms of strategy.
It's just a little unstable under brakes into 9. And again, wildly over the top of the curve there for a 20.1. It's about 2 tenths away in sector 1, and it's about another 3 tenths away from peak numbers in sector 2. It's not going to be enough for Chaz Mostert into the final corner. This is the car that was quickest in qualifying.
We said that Waters' lap was going to be hard to beat, and that's a 20 dead. And that's a long way down at the end. That's remarkable. That's actually his 8th position.
Something weird there. So Cam Waters gets the job done, remembering that he came into the day with 9 armour or pole positions. Make that 10 in 2022. And a nice moment of joy for Tickford after the difficulty that they've had a little bit earlier in the day. Hey, Chaz, Neil in the background here. What's the story with that lap, do you think?
I didn't hear a word you said then, guys, but yeah, we just didn't quite get the track condition right and probably drove it a little bit too silly, to be honest. So, yep, we'll go back to the drawing board, long race. Pretty confident we got a good car when we put it together.
Thanks, Chaz. All the best to Savo. See ya.
Well, that is a story I did not expect, because I thought that Mostert and De Pasquale were the 2 guys to beat in the top 10 shootout. Big mistake by De Pasquale, and the lap time for Mostert is a complete mystery.
A strange one, isn't it, when he's 0.6 away from Cam Waters? We expected him to be right in the mix, and I'm sure he did too. So the evidence of the pictures we saw with that car early in the lap, it was pretty taily, so they might have just gone a little aggressive on the pointiness of the car for quality. We'll get the story, but Cam Waters grabs an armour all pole.